Hello everyone, my name's Abby. I'm the Student Research Coordinator for the Psych Department. In this video, I should have already came to your classes and went over all this stuff with you, but I'm just going to make separate little videos to kind of cover these things that could be helpful for you. So this is obviously the handout, all that information. What I'm going to go over in this video though is kind of setting up your Qualtrics survey, like how to get it all put together. And then I'll have a separate one for how to attach it to Sona and all that stuff. Um, so to start, what you're going to do is you're going to go to BW Qualtrics in Google, and it's the first link right here. All right. And it's going to bring you to something, well, what you want to do is put in your BW username and password, and it'll get you in that way. So no worries about that. So it's going to bring you to something that looks like this. You won't have these things because you haven't made anything yet. But you're going to see this, and you're going to create a new project. It's going to be a survey. Right here, this link, it's very, very helpful for how to set up this kind of more basic stuff that is probably what you'll be using. So yeah, so use that, maybe save it in your bookmarks or however you want to do it, but it's very helpful if you follow that link, especially with this video and all that. So you're going to put in a title, obviously. I'm just going to say example video 2 because I've already tried this. So it's going to be, well, it's going to be blank. Create project. And it's going to bring you to here. So over here is stuff that you can use to control what your questions look like or how many choices, all this fun stuff. And it's easy to mess around with. It's not going to screw up anything if you mess up. I mean, you can still edit it and change it. So one important thing before we begin this little IQ score over here, it tells you kind of how well everyone can access your survey, how well it's going to translate if they do it on their phone or on a computer. Just keep an eye on that. It can be helpful if you screw something up or something's kind of unreasonably put in your survey, like a question is weird or something. Just keep an eye on that. So to start, you can add these blocks. So see there's this little add block. You can label the blocks. Very helpful. These blocks are very, very helpful. So your first thing in your survey when people open it up, it's going to be an informed consent. So let's label this block informed consent. Your informed consent will be approved by the IRB, so hopefully that's, in the works if you're doing this while that's waiting to be approved. So that will go right here. What you want to do is change the format of this question to text/graphic. And then you can copy, let's say that this is my informed consent. It's going to be longer than that, obviously, but you're just going to copy and paste that right into there. So they are going to see this right when they open it. And there's your little block, nice and organized, all that. All right. So this will be your informed consent. Just copy and paste it from your IRB application if you're able to. You're going to want to do a new block before adding questions or adding anything. For this block, it's going to be your demographic questions or ability questions, whatever it's going to be. But it's going to be and then add a question. It's going to be questions like, are you left-handed or right-handed, depending on if you need to know that for your survey. So for choices, you're only going to want 2 choices for this, and they're going to be left or right. Nice. All right. Let's add another one. We want to know how old they are, or how old are you? For this text entry that I just picked from over here, text entry, you're allowed to type it in. So what can be tricky with these text entries is maybe in my mind I type numerically. All right, so 21. Or in my head I type like this. You could do that. So when you're analyzing this, sometimes you have to go through and you have to visually see it. It's not just going to give you this overall, this is the average age. That's something you're going to have to go through and do, or go through and change all the written out 21s. You're going to have to go through on SPSS and change them to 21 like that, just so you can get the average. And that's the only tricky thing with these. But, you know, it would be harder to list 17, 18, 19, 20, 20, you know, it's going to be hard to do that multiple choice. So you can do that. Let's say I also want to know, are you in a relationship? Over here, it gives you can use suggested choice. This one's a weird one to be suggested choice. It's like maybe, definitely not, probably not. It's very, you know, you kind of want a yes or no for this. But with the suggested choice, it gives you a whole lot to choose from. It's very helpful. You can go bad to good, regretful, delightful, how wonderful, or quantities, expectations. So these are helpful if you wanted to scroll through those and find some fun ones. Oops. And you can change these and edit these too. You don't have to keep them like that. But for this question, obviously, we just want two choices. No and yes. Okay. Then my next question could be, how long have you been in a relationship for? All right. And then they type how long. So you're going to have more demographic questions that you want to know. Are you female, male? What's your sexual orientation? Stuff like that. Whatever it is. Do you drink? You know, I don't know. So what you can do with these demographic questions, if in my study I need the person to be left-handed in order to participate. So if they're right-handed, they're completely knocked out. You know, can't do it. What you do, you click on this on your question, that's gonna kick them out if they don't qualify. Qualifiers, that's what you can go to. You go to skip logic. So skip from this question, which was the first demographic question we had, the are you left-handed or right? You are going to want to skip to the end of the survey if right-handed is selected. All right, so if they answer this question right, they get skipped to the end of the survey. Confirm. It'll give you that little thing, end of survey if right is selected. Okay, so you did that right. And they shouldn't get credit granted for this, since they obviously didn't do anything to help you or participate. Okay, good. You can also do this thing called display log. Oh my god. Okay, we're not trying to edit the block. How do you do that? Okay, you can also do this thing called display logic. So, are you in a relationship? If they answer, okay. So you could add skip logic to this. So if they're not in a relationship, then they can get kicked off too, because I need them to be in a relationship to participate. What you can also do is you can have certain questions pop up if they answer a certain way, if a certain condition is met. So if they answer no to this, obviously it's going to go to the end. But if they answer yes, I want this question to pop up. So if they answer no, it's not going to be displayed. So you're going to click on this question, display logic. So display this question if the following condition is met. So they have to answer this question, yes, is selected. So they're only going to answer the how long have you been in a relationship if they answer yes to are you in a relationship, obviously. All right, save that. And now you have some display logic, some cool little things to spice up your study. All right. So what I have also found helpful when, well, let's add a new block, sorry. So once you get into your measures, let's say I'm at this measures attachment. Once you get into your measures, you can start asking your questions. Something that I have done with mine is you have this matrix table. So I can say answer all of the following questions. So you can say that, and then what you can do is you can put your questions here. So, are you close with your mom? And then there can be an option here. So, one answer, good. Let's have 5 statements. Or that doesn't help us really. So they have these scale points. We want 5 of them. And let's say we want suggested. So it'll give you these. So you could even word it like, I am close with my mom. And then they have to agree with it or disagree. So you can do it like that. And then you just keep putting all your questions in here, especially if they have the same like answer options. This is a really helpful way of doing that. So I love this. This is what I used for mine. I used Matrix and I had a ton of stuff going on. So you can do it like that. And I think it's helpful. Obviously, you could add another block, all that, for your next survey or next measure if you're having multiple. All right, so that's fine. Now, if we go over here to survey flow, you can see we have these blocks. All right, you can move these. So let's say I had another measure and I wanted attachment first or something, or second, which you wouldn't because it goes in 40% demographic and then the measures, but let's just say it's like that. You can move this around and organize it like that so it moves all the questions. Very, very helpful to do it this way rather than having to reorganize all your questions one by one. So in another video, I talk about how to grant your credit and how to get all that set up. So I'm not going to go over that here. So I think that's about it for messing with your survey. Oh yeah. Don't forget to apply. If you change anything, apply it or else it's not going to work. Okay. So I think that's about it for what I'm going to show you how to work with Qualtrics. So yeah, so any questions, feel free to email me, reach out, whatever you want to do, and I'll get back to you when I can. Hopefully this helped somewhat as you're going along and doing this. So best of luck to you. Thank you. Bye.